Mr. Angels of the weekly general reading for the period of today, the 9th through Saturday to come the 15th. I'm going to jump right in. It's pretty late. It's probably like 9 o'clock on the 9th p.m. I've been at a meeting, community meeting from 1 till like 8, believe it or not. Anyway, we're starting with Eat Cake. So happy birthday or congratulations to anybody that's celebrating something. Also massage, and it's 50-50. Spirit says sex, cocktail. I just had one, by the way, after that 7-hour meeting I was at. And no, I just had some Fireball and rum shot. Anyway, with the fortune cookie card, just starting with society. Say yes to all the wonderful invitations coming your way. Excellent networking opportunities and new love interests for singles could be the result. Now that could result in some jealousy. So watch who you trust your personal secrets and plans with. Spend time outdoors with nature to reconnect and to replenish. And this may be along the same lines. Care required. Guard yourself against deception and be careful of making foolish mistakes at this time. The foolish mistake could be sharing, your personal plans or information with the wrong person, with somebody who doesn't really like you, even if they may pretend to. With the cards, we're beginning with the King of Cups. Some good news could be coming your way. Again, this could be tied to the networking and the wonderful opportunities and invitations that you could be coming into right now. There could be something that just makes you happy. Well, this could be tied to a particular person, an actual King of Cups, maybe specifically a water sign, a Cancer, Scorpio, or Pisces, or someone like into those traits or attributes, maybe specifically male or masculine presenting or identifying. And very nice. With the angel and animal tarots, we're starting with the Six of Swords. Things are looking up. It's the end of a difficult situation. You may even be taking a trip. And that is also here with the Six of Cups. So we've got the Six of Swords and the Six of Cups. Memories from your history or childhood. Issues regarding children and romanticizing the past. So maybe a situation that involved love, emotions, children, a soulmate, your siblings. These are just all individual possibilities. That was challenging, could be getting better, or somebody could be returning to your life. We're about to enter Mercury Retrograde, and Lord knows that brings back exes, as does the current retrograde that we're already experiencing, Venus retrograde in Capricorn. Venus being, of course, the planet and goddess of love. So, if she's retrograde, of course, we're going to be affected in that area. Behind the Six of Swords and the Six of Cups, which there's an indication of something getting better, we have what may have made things not so good in the first place. The Five of Swords and the Three of Swords. So it's like we're progressively getting better. So the 3, the 5, the 6 is where we are now. So there could have been some sort of betrayal, maybe involving gossip, or again, sharing secrets, and somebody misused information about you, or you told somebody good and they weren't really happy for you, so they took it as an opportunity to wish you bad or poorly, or maybe even actively to do some sort of spell or hex or voodoo or whatever, dark magic on you to prevent your success. It could be this could be tied also to separation and loss, or maybe whatever this conflict was led to separation, loss, breakup, some sort of hurt. Sadness is part of life, but you don't have to endure it alone. You may need a little time to heal, but once you work your way through the emotions, you'll be stronger than before. Then we have the Five of Swords, an unwise choice. Learn what you can from the situation, review everyone's motives, and, so there probably was some sort of choice with what we were presented. We may have missed the ball altogether and blown the opportunity, or, again, not chosen wisely. Your responsibilities may distract you from noticing all the gifts that God is presenting to you. Be open to investigating opportunities that come your way. The Eight of Wands, which can be tied to communication as well, or when something had been stuck, all of a sudden it began to move. You've been presented with many wonderful opportunities all at once. While this may feel very stressful, remember to be grateful for the blessings that heaven sends you. And the Knight of Swords. Prince of Winter, also he's called here. He is decisive, focused, driven, and impulsive. Get ready for progress to speed up. This situation requires you to choose logic and intellect over emotion and to make decisions quickly. So it looks like we may have started out with some sort of opportunity. It may have come in very swiftly and been unexpected. It may have been extremely lucrative or promising in love. Again, maybe involving an actual representative, an emperor type, and perhaps specifically a Scorpio, because we got the King of Cups here, or an Aries. And then it looks like something may have been said, or rumors may have been spread, gossip. Somehow, some hurt, pain was caused, but that situation being rectified now. And it could be a lot of time. This Three of Swords could be representative of all the time that there's been, distance or separation too. But again, moving closer and moving into positive energy now with the Six of Air and the Six of Water, or Swords and Cups. So we'll mix these up a little bit in front of you guys. In the meantime, trying to think if there's anything else I wanted to tell you. So I still have to have some things done with my laptop. Still haven't done that. I may do it this week, so I may not do any dailies this week. Nine of Cups just fell away there, and this, of course, could also be associated with the King of Cups. He may be some sort of dream or wish fulfilled, particularly if he's an actual person, or if he's, just an opportunity to feel good. That may be something for which we've been praying as well. And opening first, ready to the Knight of Cups. So we've got the King and the Knight. And a Tower, just like we saw here. Again, something may happen very quickly, come in very quickly, change very quickly. It may be very unexpected. This could be like even a proposal coming in out of nowhere. That happened to me when I was a kid, actually. You probably say proposal when you were a kid. Yes. Seven of Swords can also have something to do with exes returning for me, as well as loss, stuff. Sometimes I feel return of something that had been lost. And that could be, or at least a return if your peace, contentment, happiness, whatever had been lost, that's being restored. We see with the Four of Wands, and maybe restored very quickly and unexpectedly. Something very positive and good could happen. But yeah, when I was like 16, so I started dating this one guy when I was like 14. We met when I was like 14. And dated for the 2 years. And our relationship got pretty volatile and like toxic. A lot of jealousy and all that kind of stuff. So we broke up, and I started dating this other guy. And while I'm dating the other guy, my ex shows up with the full wedding set. Engagement ring for me, wedding band for me, wedding band for himself. He proposes to me. I was like 16 years old. So of course I had to say no. But it was unexpected. I brought it up in that context, or in that moment just now, because I could say it could be completely honest. Like I was dating somebody else. I was not with this guy at all. We weren't talking. So to show up with a ring was completely unexpected and sort of seemingly random, at least, on my end. Obviously, I'm sure it was something that he had been thinking about. So it was more present in his life. But for me, it was like, where is this coming from? Like we went from not speaking to proposal. But that's the kind of thing that could happen with going from, Tower to Four of Wands. Our overall energy this week is the Fool in reverse. Fool in reverse. And the King of Cups is still here. Very interesting. As is Judgment, which can also be representative of Pluto or Scorpio energy, who the King of Cups may be. Judgment is a very positive card for me, although sometimes it can be literal. It can have something to do with an actual judgment, like a court judgment. but it's overall positive and tends to be about abundance that's earned. So even if it is about a judgment, you know, sometimes it can be a judgment in your favor because you deserve it. So like in your workman's comp case, your unemployment case, even a judgment of divorce or something, it's like, you know, you're deserving of some sort of settlement in your favor. Another 6. Just open right to the Lovers. I don't know if you guys can hear the laughter or whatever. My house is always filled with happy people. It's like the you know, that house that everybody goes to, the whole neighborhood goes to hang out and stuff. Everybody's kids, they're not kids anymore. They're all like young adults now. But they're still coming here. They're still coming to my house. I'll get these a little bit more mixed up and then look at some more cards in the context of a spread. Just very randomly and in no order or particular way, picking up these cards. Let's see what we came up with for an overall energy. It is the 7 of Wands, followed by the Queen of Pentacles. Okay. So you may have made some sort of decision, maybe with regard to your household or with self-care or nurturing of, you know, household members, family members, people that are close to you. Combinations of those. Be assertive. Believe in yourself and don't let anyone take away your personal power. Trust that your inner guidance is true and follow it completely. The Queen of Pentacles is thoughtful, caring, creative, and ingenious. You'll be given advice that's both practical and creative, and it should be followed precisely. Focus only upon the positive in every situation or person. Now, of course, this could be Venus. She is, again, located. Not only does she rule what the Queen of Pentacles most directly represents, the sign of Taurus, she's also, again, retrograde in Capricorn. This could be her. It can be any Taurus, Virgo, or Capricorn, or someone like into those traits or attributes that's significant in your life. And or can just be representing that sort of, again, mother energy, nurturing energy. We may have made a decision to remodel our home, to sell our home, to buy a new home, to, you know, just to clean up, to tidy, to do some spring cleaning. I keep saying, I know it's winter, but I keep feeling like we got to do this spring cleaning. This Queen of Pentacles has been coming up for at least a month. I think it's longer than that, more like 2 months now on a regular and consistent basis. I think that we have until like mid-February to be done with our spring cleaning, you know, in terms of sort of just tidying up your life, not really just your home, but like nesting, creating a space, getting rid of the people, places, and things that we don't need. So the Knight of Swords just fell away from the deck. The Knight of Swords can be about, again, news that's coming in. He is upright, so it's probably going to be news that you want to hear, news that you're happy to receive, since he is upright. This can also be tied to Mercury. Again, Mercury goes retrograde this week, and why that may often be scary, there will be positive things that come out of this particular retrograde. Depending upon, again, where in your chart it lands. This card can also be representative of the energy of Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius, or someone like into those traits or attributes. And in cases of love, particularly if one is single, about being swept off your feet. Again, something very unexpectedly just swooping in, coming in very fast in the area of love. So we'll just use this for us all. I will take these away for a second. I'll take these away for a second. And, oh, another one. The Queen of Wands also. She is an Aries, Leo, a Sagittarius, or someone like into those traits or attributes. What else do we have this week? I think there may be something going on with Chiron. I know Ceres, also the asteroid, is going direct this week. But I think I remember something happening about with Chiron too. Chiron currently located in Aries, has been for a while. Whether that's the case or not, though, the Queen of Wands is super confident. She shows up to remind us, like, we got this, basically. That you can handle any and every situation that's coming at you. You know, you have the qualifications, you have the voice, you have that sort of passion and fierceness, like relentlessness and fearlessness about you. Even if you don't always recall that you do, you have it about you to handle any and everything that comes your way. Of course, also, this could be a situation. I mean, we got two characters here, too. So there could be something going on with a fire sign and or an air sign, or somebody with both in their chart. Like, I'm air, double air, and fire. Air sun, air moon, fire rising. Could be something like that, too. So the card that will most directly represent the collective this week, all of us together, is Death. Major Arcana card 13. It's about transition, change, transformation. Pluto, Scorpio. Something coming to an end, never to exist in the same way that it has previously again. That could refer to challenges and things too. You know, like this situation is closed, and so there's new energy now. All right, surrounding energy, close friends, family members, co-workers, love, love interests, or partner. 8 of Wands in reverse. Work and finance. The King of Swords in reverse. And love and relationship. The 5 of Pentacles in reverse. Should I go ahead and pull? I'll pull the other two also. I don't know where I'm going to put them yet, but I will also pull the physical health card. It is the 9 of Swords, so there's some anxiety, worry maybe about something. Maybe you're waiting for results. Again, if you are, it'll be what you want to hear. It'll be something positive when it comes in. And spiritual health. 9 of Cups is back. Okay. Can everybody see all those? Yes. So I'm going to start with the Queen of Wands. Again, I didn't mention this. This is important too. She's one of the most fertile, as in representative of motherhood and fertile ideas, in addition to the literal, so it's metaphorical or literal ideas of fertility. And I don't know about you guys, but I've been seeing like the Empress a ton too. So I think there's going to be a lot of babies and stuff born in this new year as well. Any case, very feminine energy, very, very, feminine, womanly, and she can definitely signify an actual literal person in our lives that is often specifically female, and just brings a positive energy, a good energy, and a sign of good things to come. Also, when referring to a literal person, she stands for like getting a lot accomplished, getting things done, and often focuses on work and career. The Wands cards do for me in general. If it's not work and career, it's often travel or movement, and sometimes combinations of those. So you could be like a mover or shaker, and maybe you get sent somewhere like on location for your job, or you relocate for the purposes of work. Maybe that comes up all of a sudden. Maybe that's what the Tower and the 4 of Wands was about. You get offered an opportunity, as suggested maybe by the fortune cookie cards, opportunity coming. So you could offer an opportunity to go and, and work somewhere else, to relocate for a job, to get a home attached to your job, or to work at home out of your existing home rather than coming into an office. All of these things could happen very suddenly for you. And again, it's going to be positive. It's going to be uplifting. When she stands for a woman that's in your life, maybe other than yourself, it's normally like a good friend who is like solidly on your side. Like you don't have to question whether or not this person has your back. They do, even though they may seem a little self-absorbed at times. And in my experience, out of the 3 fire signs, that can often be, particularly if the person is a Leo. And I don't say that out of any, dislike for Leos. I myself am a Leo rising. It just is what it is. And then I would say second would be Sagittarius, and then third, Aries. Aries is more, I think more action oriented in general, like not necessarily just for themselves, just like getting things done, period, whether it's for them or somebody else or whatever. So again, if you're trying to conceive and this card appears, it's definitely one of the most positive signs that there could be in terms of that. Now, with this Queen of Wands sitting here, right here, like above the Knight of Swords, that could definitely be travel for somebody. And it looks like that travel may not even be held up despite Mercury retrograde. So maybe you're going prior to the 14th. Somebody will be traveling for work or something. So moving on to that Knight of Swords, unlike a number of Swords cards, the Knight of Swords actually brings, like a fairly upbeat and again positive and cheerful energy, similar to, not necessarily similar to that of Queen of Wands, but it's a positive card. For me, Knights are about action. They can often mean that someone or something that we want, like some desirable, is about to seek us out, not just about us seeking it out. And sometimes with the Knight of Swords, it's about information. So it often can be that we have a decision, or we'll have a decision to make, but sometimes we're awaiting information or a decision from someone else before we're able to make it. This can be also about us being like at a peak, like your energies at a high point, your intellectual mind, maybe even your physicality, your emotional and spiritual energies just being at their height right now, and everything just really on point, so that you can make the best decisions. If you're waiting for news from somebody or something, I think I did mention this part before, you're likely to hear what it is you want to hear. There can be a lot of activity around travel, being out and about, getting things done, getting things accomplished, just knocking things off your list. Again, similar to the Queen of Wands. And you're unlikely to feel like waiting for anything or anyone to do something for you. Like air signs, I can speak especially for Gemini and Aquarius, because I am both of those. We're really, if you want something done right, you got to do it yourself kind of people. Or why are you taking like the long path around? Oops, all you got to do is this and this to get this done. Never mind, I'll do it. We're very much that person. And that can be you this week, whether you're an air sign or not. Just like, I can't wait for you. I'll do it. Or I have a much easier way of doing it. Let me just get straight to it, not waste any time. Again, especially if you're single and love, this card can be about being swept off your feet. The Queen of Wands is also very positive, a very positive omen as it relates to love. So the two of these working in tandem, really good. Even if you are coupled already, there's good news in it for you as well. Things probably deepening, getting a lot more meaningful, and just feeling a lot more closeness and balanced energy between you and your partner. So moving on to the Fool in reverse. For me, this is very Aquarian energy. The Aquarian is the type of person willing to just be like the one man on an island doing their own thing, or like on, I think it was Sesame Street, they used to have that. So one of these kids is doing their own thing. That's like the Aquarius. It's like, we don't have to be doing what everybody else is doing. If you don't like the idea, fine, I'll do it myself. It's like all that kind of stuff. And that can definitely be the case here. It's a really independent energy, self-reliant, and just a go-getter. In addition to that, the Fool is an indicator of newness. So, these two cards together make a lot of sense to me. Again, this one is about endings. This one is about new beginnings. This one's about endings that lead to new beginnings, right? They bring about new beginnings. So both. And then this one is definitely about new beginnings and just newness in general. As well as, sort of like an innocence and like an open-hearted energy, kind of like a child, basically. And like a child is like, I don't need any help. I can do this. I'm just good on my own. And I have these ideas. They may sound crazy to you, but I can make them happen. That's very Aquarian. And this is, generally considered a positive card too, even though it reminds us that it's important to take time to be sure that we're sort of watching where we're going, especially when it's in reverse like this. The Fool can show that there is a need for a new beginning. You know, that we really need to, we have to allow this to happen. We have to allow things to transform, to transition. And there can be some hesitancy in some cases when it's in reverse like this. So there may be some hesitancy, again, specifically with regard to a King of Cups. There may be a King of Cups specifically who is hesitant to allow something to change and to move on. There can be somebody who's allowing, trying to keep something from moving forward in an area of love and emotion. And that may be why the King of Cups is showing up. New beginnings that have like typically a deeper spiritual meaning than, you know, any everyday new beginning. And in reverse can definitely mean that the person or group, in this case the collective about whom the reading is, has some sort of level of resistance to the new beginning. Like it is us that are sort of hesitant to allow things to change. We're fighting change. But the fresh start is coming, you know, in some context, a fresh start is coming, whether we want it to or not. And I think that this could be because of the Knight of Swords, because of Mercury going, again, retrograde, so backward, reversed, in Aquarius this week, on the 14th. All right, so let me move on to death, I think, on that note. So death isn't necessarily a bad card. Some people can look at it, look at the picture, you see death, you know, or the angel of death, you know, Grim Reaper on a horse, and it can be scary. And some people can think it's about actual physical death. It almost never is, although a couple of weeks ago in one of my readings it was. Yeah, it showed up. I did a 2-card placement for spread, you know, each placement. And the other card was my white buffalo calf woman that was paired with death. And so I knew from that it was actual literal death. And we saw that we were going to be losing possibly some males, you know, and or masculines, and or a female in the life of a masculine. So like somebody, you know, that should probably be older. This is what I had seen in that reading, like somebody's mother. So we did, you know, lose some older women, and we've lost some men, because it almost always means celebrities and you know, people that we would all know too in the news, in addition to people that we know personally. So anyway, in this case, it does not have anything to do with physical death. In fact, it's really, it really is just about transformation and change. I think that's the best way I can describe it. A time of deep transformation. And the fact that we have these 2 major arcana cards, I mean, this is a very, very strong, sort of unavoidable karmic energy of change that's coming. And again, there's nothing we can do about it. It's like whether we like it or not. You know, situations, things, even people that we've sort of gotten used to, expect to be a certain way, that we feel like we can count on, or we've always counted on, just may no longer be available, you know, to us, at least in the same way as they once were. Like, again, something, as I said before, is coming to a complete end, never to exist in the same way again. And this this kind of transformation or transition can be, you know, very difficult for some people. I mean, change is difficult, as they say. Change is hard, right? That's the saying. But, you know, it's almost always necessary when it does show up. So our surrounding energy, maybe the people around us, we may be impacted because it's happening to somebody around us, or maybe there's something that, you know, we share, some sort of situation that we share with somebody close to us, that the 8 of Wands is affecting us. And this card can generally be about a need for some sort of patience. It's like a reminder that life can't be rushed or forced. I mean, it's fast enough as it is. And, you know, the years have just been flying by, seriously. At the same time, even though we might be, you know, called upon to sort of slow down and be patient, it also reminds us that, you know, our energy, our time, life is precious and limited. And we just want to think about, like, are we just waiting, or are we moving forward as best as we can? And that reminds me of a song I thought about the other day. I posted one line of it on my Facebook page. It was a song by Boys to Men. I don't know what the name of it is, but the lyrics go like, "Let's not wait till the water runs dry. We may find our whole lives passing us by. Let's not wait till the water runs dry. We can make the biggest mistake of our lives. Don't do it." And then it talks about, basically wasting time. I mean, this is specific to love. The line that I posted on my page was like, some people work things out and some just don't know how to change. So the Eight of Wands is coming in and saying, again, there's this time of change. If you know how to change, now's the time to do it. Make sure that you're using every precious moment of your life. That, again, the song talks about sort of just letting life pass you by. We might watch our whole lives pass us by if we just keep waiting, and rather than taking some sort of action and changing with the times. And for somebody, or for some of us, it could be about love, and specifically about that, about just not being able to find a way to come together, neither person moving. And there is one who, at least energetically, is saying, let's do this now. Let's not wait until the water, and maybe it is, again, involving water, emotions, or even a water sign, runs dry. Because if we do that, we may find our whole lives pass us by. We'll just be waiting and waiting. We're going to be stubborn. You're going to get old. I'm going to get old. And we'll make the biggest mistake of our lives. So that could be a message for somebody. Also, the Eight of Wands in reverse can be about feeling guilty about something. And we just got to really remember that there's nothing that can be changed about the past. So, yes, we want to make a change. Yes, we want to allow for change. But for things that have already passed, there's nothing we can do about those. We can only, work on the present and toward the future. So, sometimes it's best to just, forgive yourself or other people who are involved in something. And, and we have consciences for a reason. We shouldn't ignore them, but then allow them to be cleared. Maybe not being so judgmental. Isn't judgment here somewhere? Yes. So it could be about judgment of self, maybe, or others. Somebody in our surrounding area, or somebody in our surrounding energy is judging us. In work, the King of Swords in reverse can be saying that there's a man at our job, or that could somehow be helpful in our employment, some sort of area of our career or employment life environment, work environment, if he would just open his mouth. But he's holding back from saying things that could be helpful for him to say. So, you should just keep your eyes and ears open and pay attention to your surroundings or whatever. Listen carefully to what's going on around you. If you're looking for work and there could be a man or a very masculine energy that is in a position to hire you. You are going to have to impress this person, on every level, every aspect of whatever the job is, in order to get the job. So stress your understanding of whatever the job is and the different skills that are involved and the importance of, following the rules and doing things a certain way and all that kind of stuff. That's how you will get the job. Moving on to the Five of Pentacles, love. You may be feeling that something that had been sort of holding you back is beginning to break free, or you're beginning to break free from the grips of something that was holding you. And you may not even know what that thing is that was holding you back, or why you suddenly feel different. It's it could be totally unforeseen, reasons in both cases, but suddenly you feel more open to love and more able to take a chance. Maybe even being the fool, take a chance at being vulnerable, opening up to emotions. The King of Cups is the most balanced masculine and feminine energy in the tarot. He just got his emotions together, and doesn't wear them on his sleeve. He's not all, like a wimp, but he's not afraid to show them and to be vulnerable either. It's just almost like magic. All of a sudden you find yourself receiving more love and being open to even giving more love And if you're already committed, then the relationship again can all of a sudden just feel like it's drawing closer. It's becoming more pleasing. You're becoming more happy. Just things are just moving more smoothly and easier. It's just easier to be in love, you know, than it had been. The only problem that this card can sometimes point out is if like your relationship is sort of built on this notion of being out in the cold, and you know, me and you are out in the cold, it's us against the world, this cruel, hard, horrible world, and to survive, you know, we have to act crazy. I don't know. if that's the kind of thing that you're thinking, I mean, sometimes there's you know, that can happen. That attitude is what needs to change in order for things to improve in your life and in your love life. Physical health, the Nine of Swords can point to, like I said, anxiety, fear, insomnia, you know, sleepless nights, maybe need some melatonin or, you know, a nightcap. Well, maybe not. Because actually this card can be about drugs and alcoholism too. Like it's a time to be careful about our intake of drugs and alcohol and other maybe substances. It can be about self-medicating and things like that. And what we really need to do, instead of just trying to make a problem go away by drinking or smoking or drugging or whatever it is we may be doing, is, you know, finding out what's wrong, maybe making a doctor's appointment or something like that. Stress can be taking a serious toll on us when this card shows up. So, you know, we got to look at ways to like reduce our stress levels in our lives. If you are prescribed medication for stress, maybe for high blood pressure or something like that, or for anxiety, depression, make sure you're taking it. Make sure you got your prescription filled. For some of us, this could be a call to change our lifestyles, you know, maybe our dieting and or exercise habits, our spending habits, or to chuck habits that are poor for us, smoking, drinking, drugging. Maybe that's your New Year's resolution and you haven't quite got to it yet, and you're starting to beat yourself up or to be judgmental, and the judgment card against yourself. And rather than do that, again, you want to find ways or look for ways to mitigate the stress. If you can't do it on your own, then, you know, seeking some sort of help. So maybe a therapist or a doctor or a friend, you know, a loved one, something. Some of us may need to look at the things that we're spending money on, and if we're being wasteful at all, that could be what's causing us stress. You know, just feeling like we have some sort of lack or something as well. Moving on to spirituality, in the Nine of Cups, this will be much more positive. I mean, it's important time to notice, to notice how, is notice the right word? Well, I'm going to use it, notice. How powerful affirmations and things and intentions and practices of manifestation and visualization and vision boards and all these things can be. It's about dreaming big and then taking like the steps, you know, to make those dreams come true. And part of that can be, you know, it doesn't have to be, you know, physical. It doesn't have to be like, you know, well, if I want to make this work, I got to go out and get a job. It doesn't have to be like a physical thing. It can really be about deciding I want something, visualizing myself with it, you know, believing in the intention, holding on to it. Then yes, taking some sort of action, whatever, you know, action is appropriate or is associated with the thing it is I'm trying to make true. And then allowing it to happen. And like, you know, not being overly or judgmental against just oneself or judgmental against oneself at all. Like believing that you really deserve whatever this thing is and allowing it to come to you. I think I'm going to use the animal and angel tarot. So I'm just going to go to these now. So again, our overall energy after I shuffled up the cards was intuition. Trust your intuition. It's a great time to learn a new skill, change careers, or to invest money. And I think the Knight of Swords and the Queen of Wands, you know, support that. Tough and trying times. Tough times ahead. Think long term and make decisions accordingly. Avoid negative people at all costs. And that could be what the tough times are about. It could only be about challenging things with, you know, people surrounding us. It doesn't have to necessarily be in other aspects of your life. All right, so the one that will here join death here is our overall energy is challenges. We just talked about how challenging change can be. So it makes sense. Take time out from problems or conflicts, or approach softly to avoid making matters worse. So this is about, again, allowing for change, approach softly, you know, just letting things happen, letting them unfold, rather than trying to fight the changes that are happening. Joining the Eight of Wands in our surrounding energy, we do have love. And I think I you know, sort of pointed toward that I was feeling that for some of us, this is going to be about relationship. I mean, I went into that whole tangent about boys to men. So again, this is about not letting the water run dry, not letting your whole life pass you by. It's about taking action in a love, you know, situation where maybe there's been such separation. There's been a lack of communication. Eight of Wands can be about communication. This one is in reverse. So communication maybe has been stifled, has been stuck, has been non-existent. There's been separation or something. And this is the time to take some sort of action to change that if you're interested in changing it. Love is in the air. It's a great time for commitment. I don't know about that with Mercury retrograde, but maybe if you do it before the 14th, sure. Great time for commitment and taking relationships to the next level. You can take something to the next level and decide to get back together, or, you know, whatever, without signing, you know, entering into any real contracts if you can avoid them. With work, love life is coming up again. Affairs of the heart could cause future problems. So something going on in your love life could affect you in your work maybe. And or there could be somebody at your work or through your work with whom you are involved. And maybe that's why you need for this person to be speaking up and saying something that could be helpful to you. And it's hurtful that they don't. Affairs of the heart could cause future problems, but take heart as difficult situations will be resolved by a good decision this week. Good decision this week could be the Knight of Swords. You acting as the Knight of Swords, making that decision that we talked about. So this is love and relationship, the Five of Pentacles. Difficult times. Be on your guard against chaos and unforeseen perils or emotional upheaval are foretold. And I think that we'll be able to do that because, again, we're opening up to a time where we are more receptive to love being in the air. Seems like these two got mixed up, right? Physical health, joining the Nine of Swords. We have future. You may travel or host an overseas traveler soon. Either way, great social fun awaits. And that could be something like maybe what's keeping us up or what we're feeling anxious about. We could be feeling anxious about the future, about what's to come, about decisions. And if that's the case, you know, I think that this card lets us know that we can relax, that things are going to be okay. And lastly, our spiritual health. We have perseverance. You may feel like you're getting nowhere, but there are wonderful changes ahead. Don't give up. This can certainly speak to manifestation or prayer, right? You focus on something and you say, well, where is it? Why hasn't it come yet? And it may feel like you're getting nowhere, but this is persevere. Hold on to your faith and allow these things to go ahead and come about in your life because you believe them, right? We create our own reality to a large extent. And that's our reading for the week. Please do like, share, subscribe, and comment. I do appreciate it. For those of you who like to stick around for another couple minutes, I'm going to open my laptop as to what else is going on this week. There it is. On the Christian calendar, we do have a feast day today, the baptism of the Lord. So, of course, the Lord refers to Jesus. I understand he's not everyone's Lord. That is the name of the feast day. And for a little more about it, I just went here to Wikipedia, actually. Feast of the Baptism of the Lord. The Feast of the Baptism of the Lord, or the Theophany, is the feast day commemorating the baptism of Jesus in the Jordan River by John the Baptist. Originally, the baptism of Christ was celebrated on the Epiphany, which was Little Christmas, Three Kings, the 6th, which commemorates the coming of the Magi, the baptism of Christ, and the wedding at Cana. Over time in the West, however, the celebration of the baptism of the Lord came to be commemorated as a distinct feast from the Epiphany. It is celebrated in the Catholic Church as well as the Anglican and Lutheran churches on the first Sunday following the Epiphany of our Lord, which again is January 6th. So Little Christmas just took place a couple days ago, and now this is the first Sunday since, so today is the baptism. There's nothing on the Hebrew or Islamic calendars that we're going to talk about, so I'm coming to the planetary or celestial calendar. Also today at 1:11 p.m., we experienced the first quarter moon, 19 degrees Aries. January 14th, again, at 6:41 a.m., Mercury turns retrograde, 10 degrees Aquarius. Also on January 14th at 4:21 p.m., Ceres, the asteroid, goes direct, 27 degrees Taurus. And the next item is in next week's reading, but I'll go ahead and mention it. January 17th at 6:48 p.m., we will experience the full moon in Cancer, 27 degrees Cancer. And that's it for the week. Again, I hope you guys have enjoyed. Please do like, share, subscribe, and comment. I do appreciate it. We can try to, engage the channel and help it to not only grow, but return to its normal positioning in YouTube and among YouTube's algorithm. It's very, very difficult to get unstuck once you've been, shadow banned like I have. But we keep at it. I hope you guys have enjoyed. I will be back soon with the love reading. Namaste.